Hi, this is Stray Pastor, and welcome to my review of Neighbors, starring Seth Rogen, Rose Byrne, Zac Efron, Dave Franco, Christopher Manspeace, McLovin. He's in this as well. Okay, here's my ticket. I saw it earlier this morning. You didn't see that? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Neighbors. Okay, this is a comedy. I saw the trailer, so I was anxious to watch this, and they said, of course, this is from the people that brought you This Is the End, which actually I thought was a pretty good movie. Actually, all things considered, it was a comedy, but it was actually a lot better than I initially thought. It had all the different stars in it, and all the comedians in it. It was actually a pretty good movie. I really like This Is the End. So I went into this, I guess with high expectations it was going to be funny because the trailer just made me crack up laughing. So, and basically, it's about a couple, Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne, and they have a newborn baby, and they get, they basically face off against the neighbors, a new frat that actually moves next door to them. Okay, and of course then they have this debate about whether they want to be, friends with them or try to come off cool. So they actually decide to go over there and be cool with them, and even offer them a joint, and say be cool, and then they tell them, but make sure you keep it down. And they actually get along pretty good for a little bit in the beginning of the movie, and then and Teddy, played by Zac Efron, I think he's the Teddy Sanders. He plays the president of the frat, and Dave Franco plays Pete, who's his right hand man, and Christopher Manspeace, he's Goonie. He's one of the frat brothers there, and like I said, they decide they get along at first until one day that the frat are partying, and they try to call over there to tell them to quiet down, but they don't. And like you see in the trailer, they decide to call the cops, and of course, it's being a comedy. The cops basically dine them out and say, "Yeah, they called you. We got call ID." The cop in this movie had me cracking up. Just whoever that actor is, had me cracking up because he basically rats them out and say, "Listen, they called you. We got call ID." They try to deny it at first, but of course and then of course then after that it's on, and basically you have them the battle against these straight-laced neighbors who's trying to live with their young daughter against the frat. Now, this movie had a few laughs in it, but ultimately, this movie was a disappointment to me. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. Okay, there were moments that were funny in it. I have to admit that there were moments when I laughed, but there was a lot of kind of dead spots in it, and it's not so much the actors, because I think the actors gave it their all. Rose Byrne, who surprised me, she used her natural Australian accent in this, as you can tell from the trailer, and she actually used her natural accent, which I thought was really good. And she was game for the most part with Seth Rogen, and Seth Rogen, who just basically gives this his all when he's trying to do this comedy. And I blame the writing on this. And I was looking at to see who wrote this movie, and it wasn't Seth Rogen. Maybe Seth Rogen contributed to it, but as far as the credits go for people that wrote it, actually, he's not credited with writing it. And you could tell because some of the jokes are just really, really lame in this movie. And there's moments when that they're just not funny. There's just moments in the movie that are not funny. They're you have the back and forth between them and the frat boys. But they don't. It's not consistent. That's what I'm saying. It's not consistent. They try these various schemes to get them out and stuff, and then the frat tries to do things back to them. And like I said, the funniest bit is that bit you see in the trailer where with the airbags. That part, and it's a little bit more continuous in the movie. Is that it goes on a little bit longer, of course, and that part just had me crying. The part with the airbags, that part was just too funny. And like I said, Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen, they give it their all. But like I said, I think ultimately the writing lets them down for the most part because it's not consistently funny. And I know people probably say, well, it's hard to be consistently funny for 96 minutes. But, I guess it was, and I'm trying to, I guess that they were trying to, like I said, they didn't show you enough. I guess they showed you just a few scenes with the frat guys just doing something other than partying. Okay, but I think it probably would have worked better as a movie if that's all they did was just party. Okay, they tried to, I guess, give a little bit of development, character development, a little bit, but especially to Dave Franco's character. They actually kind of, and maybe, like I said, maybe in the edited scenes of this movie, they, because they kind of edited those parts out to show you more well-rounded people, and but so you didn't care, what happened to the guys. Although, like I said, they tried to give you that little bit of character development for Dave Franco's character, and show a little bit of more than just being brain dead jocks, I guess. But I think it would have probably worked better as a movie. As it was if it was just straight comedy, that's all they did was party and just they didn't give a flying crap about the neighbors. I think that probably would have been a funnier movie. But I guess they tried to give it a little bit of depth with with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne trying to first, like I said, appeal to them at first, and then when when they wouldn't listen, and they turned on them, and then they went back and forth trying to find ways to get them out. And like I said, it wasn't consistently funny to me. There were just moments when there were moments that were funny, and moments when I genuinely laughed, but there were a lot of dead moments in between, which kind of killed all the momentum to me in the movie to make it a good comedy. It wasn't funny enough. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't funny enough, and I don't. This is because this is supposed to be a comedy, and to me, it's supposed to be funny consistently through the movie. But to me, it wasn't. It was like uneven. That's the best word I was trying to say. It's not. It's uneven. Okay. I mean, it's enjoyable to me. Like I said, there was a few moments when I laughed, but it wasn't consistently funny to me. It's just, like I said, just uneven. So I would definitely recommend you not see this movie. I mean, no, you don't have to go out of your way to see it. Wait till it comes on video if you want to. And I can't blame that people say Zac Efron it's not funny enough. Zac Efron's character is not supposed. His character, I mean, he had comic bits, him and Dave Franco, who I think is more funnier than Zac Efron anyway, Dave Franco. But I don't think it was so much that Zac Efron gave a bad performance. To me, I just think he played the part the way it was written. Okay, he was this, frat guy that was in charge of the house. Okay, and he did what he had to do. But like I said, I think Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne they tried to give it their all. Like I said, you can really tell that they're trying to really stretch for laughs, but the laughs weren't there. All the way through the movie, it wasn't consistent enough for me. So, and like I said, and Christopher Mintz McLovin's in there for a minute. He has kind of a memorable part, particularly one scene with a wraparound thing, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil that part of it. But this movie, you don't have to go rush out there and see this movie. This movie, you can actually wait if you want to. And ultimately, it's a disappointment to me because it's not as funny as it was made out to be. I think most of the funny bits are in the trailer, unfortunately. And I would definitely give this movie. This is disappointing me. I'm gonna give this movie a 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 mostly. Well, let's give it a 6.5. I'll give it a 6. You know what? No, I'm gonna give it a 6, not 6.5. I'm gonna give it a 6. That's, like I said, to me it was not consistently funny enough. Okay, and the waste of the talent, and it was just a horribly written script to me. I mean, it wasn't a good script, and like I said, I didn't see Seth Rogen's name in the credits there, so maybe he helped ad lib because it seemed like a lot of times they were kind of ad libbing and stuff. A lot of Seth Rogen, a lot of ad libbing. Him and Rose Byrne, they were doing a lot of that. Okay, because the script wasn't funny enough to me. Okay, and I don't think it was the actor's fault. I think it was the script, and the script's fault. Ultimately, I think it was just a poor script. Anyway, it had the potential, but it ultimately didn't live up to the potential. Okay, so I would give I give Neighbors a 6. You don't have to rush out and see it. Wait a couple of months until it comes on video and rent it. And I know it might make a lot of money because initially, like I said, I want to see it because it's funny, but the movie's not consistently funny enough for me. Okay, so I'd have to give it a 6 out of 10. Okay, let me know what you think. If you've seen Neighbors, feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.